You know, I want to find a long-lost family member or friend. Yeah, that's what I want to do. But I also want to get some gardening tips. Book a flight. In fact, I want to take some time to look at mug shots and see animals and people doing silly things. I'd like to find out where that 604 area code is from. And while I'm at it, I may as well order some mud flaps for my truck, get a weather report, post my resume, and look at the Great Wall of China from space. Well, sounds like a pretty full evening, doesn't it? Well, of course, those things are only possible to most of us through the internet. What a wonderful resource. Or is it? You'd get arguments on both sides from that. But the truth is, it is a remarkable tool. We can do all those things and many, many, many more. It's a wonderful piece of technology. You know, years and years ago, our great-great-grandfathers talked about the machine age. Because during the course of their lifetime, they went from horse-drawn wagons to railroads, to automobiles, to airplanes. Remarkable leaps, quantum leaps in technology in their day. Of course, some people rebelled against it, and others learned to embrace it and roll with it. Well, today it's the digital age, the information age. And like I said, it is a wonderful, wonderful place. I go there every day myself. But a dozen years ago, I had the privilege of visiting Peru. Went to Machu Picchu, and we were there during the summer solstice when the sun lined up with the temples and all these wonderful things happened. But one thing that I remember about that trip, as much as any, was the fact that we witnessed men working on the railroad with picks and shovels and wheelbarrows. None of these massive railroad machines that we see that drive in spikes and weld ties and everything. It was done with picks and shovels and wheelbarrows. And I was really amazed at that, but I keep forgetting that I was in a third world country. Well, are we just lazy, or are these things conveniences? We've gone from that horseback to covered wagon to railroad to car, and now you see people scooting around on Segways or those little jazzy scooters for those that are mobility challenged. I don't know. Everyone has to answer that question for themselves. But what if all that were to come to an end? What if all those wonderful things were taken from us through some unknown cataclysm or apocalyptic event, and we were thrown back to picks and shovels and wheelbarrows? Well, those of us here in New Thought know, and have known for a long time, that all those things are still available to us. There are people who walk the planet today who can teleport themselves, who can be in two places at once, and it's been well documented. There are monks living in the mountains of Tibet who can manifest heat around them and melt the snow around them. There are those among us who can manifest anything out of the ethers that they desire, out of thin air. How is this done? Well, it's not black magic or witchcraft. It's being able to recognize their divine inheritance. And the analogy I'm sure you've heard, as I've repeated it myself, is if you were to think of the massive ocean that circles the earth, the wonder and the majesty of the ocean, and we were to take a tiny drop of that ocean. Well, the drop is not the ocean, but the drop has many of the elements, the attributes of its mother ocean. Much in the same way, within us, we have the attributes of our mother, our father, spirit. And like that tiny drop of rainwater, we have available to us all that spirit is. Because you see, when we're working with that drop of rainwater, ocean water, we're working with the whole, the ocean. Much as within ourselves, that tiny spark of spirit, we're working with the whole spirit. And everything that spirit has, we can too. These people that are doing these remarkable things, teleportation, manifestation, are much like what Jesus said. All these things I do, you can do, and even more. because they realize their source and they understand the relationship to it. The procedure is simple. Recognizing the source is all that is. Recognizing our connection with the source and acknowledging all that it is our divine birthright as children of Spirit, children of God. And then calling forth with belief and emotion. This isn't a mental exercise. This is a conjoining of the mind and the heart, the wisdom and the love. When they're united, we can move mountains. I invite you to inspect, to explore this wonderful world of spirit that dwells within us. Our website, Temple of New Thought, and many others have information, volumes of information. But follow that feeling in your heart. You'll know what's right for you. Learn about the power that you have, that you are heir to, and declare that power and manifest your life and move forward. God bless you.